Welcome to my speech. I'm very happy to have you here. As speaking allows me to maybe open some hearts, to maybe open people to some understanding of what I think, what is important to us today in this world for everybody. We are currently here in Davos, and it's my fourth time in Davos for the World Economic Forum. And I'm very happy to be here. And each year, some people are asking me, Anabel, why are you at Davos? Why are you here where people are which are toxic? Why are you here where there's this circus which is not fitting to you? Why are you here where here are so many people during this time which are dark, and you know that you have to make sure that you take care of your light? I think it's important to being here for a kind of statement, for a kind of understanding that we are living in a world which is never just light, which is never just summer, where summer and winter belongs to each other, where light and dark belongs to each other, where you see your shadow next to your oven and it belongs to you. I think we have to understand that we are not here to criticize, and that we are here not to judge, and that we are here not to look at the others and tell them what they should do differently. I think it's important that we understand first the status quo where we are before we understand which next steps are important. If we look at the current situation, then it's easy to feel bad. It's easy to be pessimistic. And it's easy to say that you better like to stay in bed than to wake up and see what you feel around. But if we look at this carefully, we see, yes, we have war around the world. If we look at Gaza, Palestine, Israel, if we look at Ukraine, Russia, if we look at Iran, then of course we see that there are people who are not accepting the freedom of others, who are not accepting that people have a different idea on things, and who are not accepting that freedom is a choice which should be the choice for all of us. Democracy, if we look at that, democracy got less and less in the world. We had some years ago 40% of democracies in the world. It got down to 34% currently. And if we look into the countries which call themselves democratic countries, we see that many of them are, yes, from outside democratic, but inside filled with manipulation and some systems where there's a small amount of people which are dictating and deciding. And yes, as an activist and advocate for sustainability, sometimes I'm not in the best mood if I look at how many parts of the world currently have been where they just took off the trees, took away and shot the animals, and we got rid of biodiversity, we got rid of forest. And I'm not talking only about developing countries, I'm also talking about countries just as Germany, for example. A country which tried to stand up for sustainability with everything they do. Yes, and if we look, then we see also that we have a increasing amount of people with burnout, dementia, autoimmune illnesses. We have more than 100 different autoimmune illnesses. And since 30 years, we have an increase of 300% worldwide. Yes. Okay. Now you will look at me and say, okay, Anabel, is this all? Do you want to leave us here with this bad news? Is this all what you want to present to us? No. Of course not. Because what we also see is that people are waking up, that people are getting wounded, feel wounded, face again what happens around them. And even if they feel like burnout, it might be the situation that they get back to that they see that they are overwhelmed, that they feel that they're overwhelmed, and that they face that there is a time now to turn around for the better. Okay, we have some challenges to face, but yes, I'm talking about challenges. I'm not talking about threats. Challenges is something where the Chinese word is, and the Chinese sign is chance for that. And yes, everywhere where it's dark, there's also light. And it's about us. And the challenges is that, of course, people have to get back to nature. A lot of people have lost their contact to nature. So my au pair, for example, he's from United States. He's a scout. And scout, you could imagine that he has a deep contact to the forest. But a few days ago, he asked me about the tomatoes which were laying in the kitchen. Anabel, what's that? I've never seen that. And I said, oh, this is tomatoes. You have never tried it? He said, is it a kind of ketchup? I said, yes, that's right. Ketchup is normally the puree of that. But as we eat it, it is full of sugar and so. Okay, he said, is it okay if I try this tomato? I said, yes. And he said, oh my God, I've never tried a tomato. And I was really shocked because this young guy is 26 years old and he traveled over 38 countries. He told me really proudly. But this is no exception. But there's a chance. He tried a tomato. Now he eats tomatoes and he avoids eating ketchup. Isn't this great? And yes, we often lose also the contact to ourselves. I'm sometimes also no exception. There comes so much from outside and I think I have to just work and function because the people expect that from me. But then there comes a time where I feel overwhelmed and I just say, stop. And I taught this to my small kid, that always when we feel it's too much, we say stop. And we just stop. We take a break. And yes, taking a break is so brilliant because without any medicine from outside, we have the medicine inside us. And we feel it. And exactly this moment, we will just take a break. We don't need any medicine. We don't need to pay a cost-intensive hotel. We don't need to pay for a coach. We're just with us. Isn't this great that we have this power in ourselves? And then, if we think about how we can make life easier and better, yes, in the past, we had the religion, we had the church, we could go there, and the church told us, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that. Now, we have a chance to give these rituals to us. Yes, we have a chance to listen to us. We have the chance to define our ethics, to give us our rules, and to follow them with imagination, with rituals which are strengthening our intuition. And yes, there are solutions. And I will give you just 3 solutions. Because the first solution is going back to us. Going back to us without a lot of magic, just back to us. Feel inside yourselves. Listen to us. Some people say, I hate that. I don't want that because I feel empty. Great. Emptiness is so much healing. So second, getting back the connection to nature. I had once, and I taught for free in a university for people with migration background and for people who just escaped from other countries. And then my first question was always when I had my first course with them, were you at the forest so far? Have you been in the forest so far? And they said, forest, no. So then the second was to go into the forest, surround a tree, sitting on the grass, just breathing the great air, listening to birds. And afterwards I said, oh my God, this country is so different than I thought. It is so much richer than I thought. And it feels so good being connected to the nature. And the third is togetherness. Understanding that we're a piece of a puzzle, of a big, big puzzle. And the puzzle is consisting not out of similar pieces, no, of diversity. Every piece of the puzzle is different. And a puzzle, when it's finished, looks really great. And one. And we together, we have so much power if we understand that we are different. Everybody is different. And everybody is great if he or she listens to her difference, to unfolded potential. And then you're back in the circle of being back at us. So what is the path there? What is the path we have to go? First of all, resilience. Being now here in Davos, it feels so crazy. And also the last days before it started, and I was around, I got so many emails, I just said, it churned over my head. And I just said, stop. But what is the solution? The solution is not stop. The solution is that we stay resilient. We are not talking all the time how bad it is. We just go back, one step back, and feel where we are. Second, that we are respectful for ourselves, for that what we are. Say stop to us, but also respectful to others. Treat others as we like to be treated ourselves. Just be patient and strengthen our awareness, what that means, because some just don't have this anymore. By having an Alexa, which tells us that we just have to say, go, make this, do that. So we have our servants. So some lost that, and it's important to go back, get us back. And then third, take a break. Just a break, wherever we are. How fulfilled, how overwhelming it is. Just a break, and especially in the middle of the storm, say stop. So easy, and take a break, and a breath. And try to not do it with complicated things. And then love ourselves. Find that what we love on ourselves. Just be nice to us, because then we can be nice to each other. So I think that it's important that we understand that it is not naive to stay positive. No, it is a quality to stay positive. Because staying positive gives us energy back. And be thankful for the very small little things, for the smile of a small kid, for the laugh of somebody, for maybe the view to the mountains, which shows us how great nature is, for the small little leaf, just for that we are sitting here warm and not freezing, that we have each other here, founded that we are here together, being thankful for everything, every small thing. And having then the rituals, the small rituals we define by ourselves, not the rituals somebody gave me. I have a healer friend, and he said, oh, take this affirmation from this guy who has this 2 million followers, and then drink this water, Wim Hof said, and then you should eat this, what some other person said. No. Feel in yourself what makes sense. Do the breath work which feels right. Maybe you'll figure out your own one. Try to find the songs which feels right. The affirmations, do it by yourself. Imagination must be your imagination and not one somebody else gave you. And then go to the nature. The nature is such a close friend. Just look outside the window and there's the nature. Go there. Connect with the nature. Connect with the animals. Connect with the plants. Feel what so many just have recorded, but know that recording is not the solution. Just go to the mushrooms and you feel that this is an organic system. The mushrooms talk to each other in special tones. Isn't this magic? Nature is so beautiful and it gives us so much. And then, again, staying with our body. We are so much with our body. Our body is not our mind, it's also our heart. And just feeling our heart, feeling that our heart is not there only, but also there, that we have a separate heart, which is at the lower stomach, which gives us a lot of wisdom if we listen to this. And it is about us, that we give the body what the body needs to be right, about sleep, about just staying away from computer, just staying long enough outside, just staying long enough without talking to somebody. Just stay calm, be with yourself. and enjoy that you are there as a piece of the nature, in the circle with the nature, and a piece of the world worth living in. Thank you.